Hello everyone, welcome back to this Swayam course, Introductions to Farm Machinery and Implement. So in this lecture, we will be talking about equipment for plant protection operations. This is also one of the intercultural operations where we protect the plant from the various insects and pests where they are going to damage the crop. So that's why those equipment used to protect the plant against the insects and pests, which we call them as a plant protection equipment, and the operations which we perform to protect the plant are called as plant protection operations. So among the plant protection for the plant protection operations, sprayers and dusters are the important equipment and machines which we use. So sprayer is a machine which is used to apply fluids in the form of droplets, and sprayer is used for various applications or various purposes. The purpose of using sprayer in agriculture for plant protection operation is to apply the herbicides to remove the weeds, to apply the fungicides to minimize the fungus infestation or fungus disease, in order to apply the insecticides to control insect pest, and applications of micronutrients on the plants, the foliar applications of micronutrients. For that also we use sprayer. To spray the insecticides to control insect pests, we use sprayer. Sprayer is used to apply fungicides to minimize the fungal infestation in the plants. And sprayer is also used to kill the weeds by spraying herbicides or weedicides. So these are all the 4 applications for which in agriculture the sprayers are used. So there are main functions of sprayer. The sprayer will perform 3 main functions. What are all those? The first one is to break the liquid into droplets of effective size. The sprayer has to break the liquid, the jet of liquid, into fine particles or fine droplets, so which are very effective as far as their deposition is concerned over the plant or plant surface or canopy, to distribute them uniformly over the plant. So in addition to breaking the jet of spray into droplets, it must take care about uniform distribution of those droplets over the plant. To regulate the amount of liquid to avoid excessive application. So whatever the chemical we spray, there should not be any overdose or there should not be any underdose. So it must be applied at right quantity which is acceptable as far as plant protection is concerned. Chemical application is concerned. So there are some desirable qualities associated with the sprayers. The first quality of sprayer is that the sprayer should produce a steady stream of spray material in the desired fineness particles, so that the plant to be treated may cover uniformly with that droplets. So any sprayer, if it is said to be a good one, then it should produce a steady stream of spray with the desired particle size, so that that particle size should go and sit over the plant and cover them properly, uniformly. The second desired quality of any good sprayer is that it should deliver a liquid at sufficient pressure so that the spray reaches into the target. So the target is a crop. The crop must receive the spray droplet as the spray is ejected out of the nozzles. So that is only possible whenever the spray the chemicals at right pressure, sufficient pressure. So the last desirable quality of sprayer is that it should be light in weight and it should be strong enough to withstand all the loading forces acting upon it, and it should be easily workable and repairable. So any sprayer having all these 3 characteristics is said to be a good one. Okay, so as far as the type of spray is concerned, the type of spray is classified into 3 classes on the basis of the quantity of spray we apply in per unit area. High volume sprays are those spray where the applications of chemical will be more than 400 liters per hectare, whereas low volume spray will range from 5 liters to 400 liters per hectare. And ultra low volume spray is the spray where the quantity of spray is less than 5 liters per hectare. So most of the high concentrated chemicals applications, for example nanos, urea spray, drone applications, these are all comes under ultra low volume, where the application of chemical per unit area is always less than 5 liters, sometimes less than 10 liters. So where low volume spray will vary from 5 to 10 liter and above up to 400 liters. So on the basis of quantity of spray we apply, so type of spray may be high volume spray, it may be low volume spray or ultra low volume spray. Okay, so the spray, since it is a device, there are different types of sprayers are there, used for pesticide application, fungicide application, herbicide applications or weedicide applications. Manual sprayer and power sprayers are the broad classifications of sprayer, where manual sprayers uses a human power to operate and pressurize the chemical so that the chemical can be sprayed in the form of fine droplets. Whereas power sprayer, as its name suggests, they equipped with certain kind of mechanical or electrical power in order to build a pressure in the compressor so that the chemical will be sprayed at high pressure into the plants. So under the manual sprayer, it may be a stirrup pump sprayer and compression sprayer, it may be foot sprayer, or it may be a rocking sprayer or knapsack sprayer. In case of power sprayer, it may be battery operated type, it may be small engine operated type, or it may be tractors or power tiller operated type. So the basic components of sprayer, particularly manual sprayer or hand sprayer, are like nozzle body, swivel plate, nozzle disc, nozzle cap, filter, overflow line or pipe, relief valve, pressure regulator, cutoff valve, spray boom, spray lance, spray gun, tank. So these are all the some important major components of handheld or manual sprayer. So if we disassemble the sprayer, manual sprayer or handheld sprayer, this is how the individual parts can be seen. So nozzle body is the topmost part in the sprayer lance, where nozzles, filter, tip, cap, all are encased in it. So this is how the nozzle body will look like. Inside this nozzle body, the filter, tip, nozzle disc, cap, all the swivel plate, they all will be encased. So swivel plate is a type of flat metal plate, so circular plate with the two openings which are designed in such a way that it will impart a circular motion, swirl motion into the jet of liquid, and that's how ultimately as the spray comes out of the nozzle, it will form a cone shape. So in order to impart a cone shape, the swivel plate is provided, and swivel plate will it will impart the circular motion into the nozzles, into the spray while passing through this swivel plate. So nozzle disc or nozzle tip is the orifice, tip plate with the orifice at the center through which the final spray will comes out of the lance or to the spray gun. And nozzle cap is the cap which is used to close the nozzle body, where inside the nozzle body all these parts will be encased. There will be a filter, the final filter. It prevents the nozzle tip and swivel plate from choking by filtering any physical impurities coming through the chemicals. Coming along with the chemicals, they all will be trapped in the filter. The chemicals free from physical impurities will pass us through the swivel plate, then into the nozzle disc or tip, then it will eject out of the nozzles. So there will be a overflow pipe which it will through which the excessive chemicals will returns back into the tank whenever that pressure built inside the sprayer is very high. And relief valve is provided to release the pressure. With the help of this relief valve, we can relieve the pressure. So relieving the pressure will help to discharge the chemical. The pressure regulator will be there, and not exactly in the all the manual sprayer, but in some sprayer the pressure regulator will be there. So by operating it, we can set the pressure at which that sprayer can work. The pressure regulator is to regulate the pressure. And cutoff valve. So cutoff valve, this one is the cutoff valve, where the small a piece of metal into this trigger. At the rear of the trigger, there is a small metal piece, so which is used to cut off the flow. As long as it is engaged, the chemical will continue to flow out of the nozzle spray, and as you disengage this, it will cut off the flow from this delivery pipe into the lens, and that's how the spray will not come out of the sprayer. The sprayer boom is a pipe-like structure where there will be more than one nozzles will be attached into it, whereas spray lens is this part of the sprayer is called as the lens, and if it is equipped with only one nozzle, then it is the one single nozzle lens. Otherwise, if it is more than such nozzles, then it will become a boom. And spray gun, and the tank. So this is the tank where the chemicals will be hold there. So solutions, chemical dissolved in water will hold in this tank, and meanwhile the handle is used to pressurize it manually, or sometime it is equipped with it will come with the electric motor, battery operated motor and pumps, and that will pressurize the fluid chemicals and push them, that will supply them into the delivery section. Through this delivery section, the chemical comes to this lens. Whenever this trigger is operated, then chemical will goes out of this lens in the form of spray. And in order to prevent continuous handling of this trigger, so this cutoff valve is also used. As long as cutoff valve is on, the chemical continue to go out of the spray. So there are various types of sprayer, as we seen in the previous slide. So one among them is the stirrup pump sprayer. This one is called a stirrup pump sprayer. It is something like a cycle air pump, where it comes with the plunger in a barrel, and it is connected with the suction and delivery pipes. The suction pipe comes with the strainer, and the suction pipe will be immersed into the a bucket or into the any other vessels where the chemicals are filled in. So as you pump this barrel, as you operate this pump, it keeps sucking the chemical from the bucket and pressurize it and passes into the delivery pipe, and through the delivery pipe the spray will come out, and as you engage this sprayer trigger, the chemical will be sprayed. In case of a hand compression sprayer, so it comes with the tank. Most of the cases the tank is made from brass material because the brass is non-reactive to the chemicals. So with the help of this opening, the chemical will be filled in, and with the help of this handle, the pump, so it will be pressurized. Once the pressure build inside the tank in the compressor, then it will be hanged into the shoulder or into the back of the operator. Farmers will keep spraying it until the pressure drops. As the pressure drops, he will again pressurize it by pumping this handle, and that's how it will be used for smaller application. Small area spraying of chemicals. It is used for spraying smaller area, as it requires frequent pumping, and while pressurizing, each time it must be put on the ground. So these are all other types of sprayer, namely the foot sprayer, rocker arm sprayer or rocking sprayer, and hand compression type knapsack sprayer. So among this, the knapsack sprayer is quite popular nowadays. Otherwise earlier, so in rural area, the foot sprayer and the rocker sprayers are quite common. But foot sprayer and rocker sprayer have some disadvantages, and that's why the knapsack sprayer become more popular. The disadvantage with the foot sprayer and rocker arm sprayer is that it requires more labors than the knapsack sprayer. In case of knapsack sprayer, one person can easily operate it. So refilling it and hanging it into the back of the operator, one person can easily spray the chemical with the help of this equipment. Whereas foot sprayer and rocker sprayer, it essentially requires a minimum of 2 people. One for operating this spray, pump by pressing this pedal, it will suck the chemical from delivery sections, where the delivery section equipped with the strainer is immersed in the chemical, either where the chemical is filled in bucket or any other such vessels, and another person will engage the spray in the field. So that's how it has one advantage, that the sprayer may be no need to carry the weight on the operator. He just handle the spray gun, whereas other person who is staying out of the field will keep pressurizing continuously, and that's how the chemical will be sucked, and with pressure that chemical will be supplied into the spray gun. So where the operator is operating it in the field, while using this, he is spraying the chemical over the plant. So for the field like paddy cultivation and other cultivation, where a person hanging the filled tank is very difficult for him to walk in the muddy sticky soil, and for such cases the food sprayer or rocker sprayers are best suited. But in dryland cultivations, the rocker sprayer or food sprayers are not much beneficial, because they require more number of operator, more than at least two people are required to operate this, because one to pressurize the fluid by operating pump either by foot or by handle, another person to handle this spray gun in the field. And that's how the minimum my minimum persons required to operate these two sprayers are two, whereas in knapsack sprayer only one person can easily handle it. But using the knapsack sprayer in wet cultivation is quite challenging, because a person itself, the empty person, cannot easily move over the wetland. In such case, a person hanging the knapsack sprayer filled with chemical is quite difficult for him to move over the wetland. The power sprayer, the name for this sprayer comes from the source of power they use for their operation. They may be equipped with the internal combustion engine, that is IC engine, ranging from 1 to 5 HP power rating, or they may be attached to the tractors or power tiller. So the pressure pump is operated by a small power unit, ensuring a constant steady pressure, and they are operated at a pressure of about 20 to 55 kg per centimeter square. So these machines are usually portable one, where that power source of that sprayer is having engine of 1 to 5 HP, then only they are portable. Sometimes power sprayers are operated by PowerTech PTO of a tractor. In such cases, the capacity of the size of the sprayer will be big, and they can able to cover large area per unit time, and they always mounted at the rear of the tractor, and that's how they utilize the PTO power of tractor to operate the pump. In case of a power sprayer, the essential components are like prime mover, tank, agitator, air chamber, pressure gauge, pressure regulator, strainer, boom, and nozzles. The prime mover is nothing but the power source, the power, any power unit which is supplying power for pump and other accessories, rotating parts or moving parts. Tank is to hold this chemical solution. Agitator is essential because since the tractor operated power sprayer comes with big tank holding chemicals of about 200 to 300 liters, or sometimes more than 500 liters too. In such cases, once the chemical is dissolved and it is kept there, it is left there undisturbed, then in such cases the chemical will settle down at the bottom, and that's how the concentration of chemical within the tank will vary from bottom to top. So in such cases, chemicals which are settled at the bottom will have high concentration, and solution at the top will have lower concentration, and the weeding or insecticide or pesticide control will not be uniform in such case. So chemical must be kept under suspension, so that that chemical will be uniformly dissolved in the water inside the tank. So that is only possible whenever it is provided with the agitators. Agitators are two types. It may be mechanical agitator type, or it may be hydraulic agitator type. In case of mechanical agitator type, there will be rotating kind of disc or rotating type rotary unit will be placed inside the tank, and that will keep stirring the chemicals inside the tank at constant speed, and that's how the chemical will be kept under dissolved and suspended condition. Whereas in hydraulic agitator, the part of the chemical pumped by the pump will be diverted back into the tank, and that's how that falling return chemical while falling into the tank will keep the chemical under suspension. So that's how the agitators will perform its work to keep the chemical completely mixed and suspended in the chemical tank in case of tractor operated power sprayer. So there is an air chamber which is essentially required to pressurize the chemical, and pressure gauge will be there to read the pressure, at what pressure that pump is pumping the pump is pumping the chemical. And there will be a regulator too, with the help of that you can obtain a desired pressure by regulating the by operating the pressure regulator. And there will be a strainer at the bottom of the tank where that pump will suck the chemical from the tank, and strainer will take care, will ensure there will be no solids or no impurities come along with the chemical, so that no nozzles will be choked or blocked. And boom is a part of the sprayer. The boom is a kind of structures comes with the tractor operated sprayer. It helps to expand the width of spray by having number of nozzles, and between each nozzle there will be definite spacing, and that's how in a single pass it can able to cover more than 3 to 4 meters in each pass. And there will be nozzles too. They are placed in different they are spaced at uniform spacing between each other on the booms. So in this slide, as you can see, this is the knapsack sprayer, but it's a powered one. It does not require a manual effort to pressurize it, because it is having a battery operated motor and pump at the bottom, and that will pressurize the chemical stored in the tank, and that pressurized fluid will passes into the spray gun, and from where the chemical will be sprayed over the plant. And there will be a pressure regulator pressure regulator also. With the help of that you can adjust the desired pressure required for spraying. And this is the IC engine equipped power sprayer, where the sprayer comes with 1 to 2 HP engine, IC engine, generally driven by using petrol as a fuel. Most of the cases such kind of power operated sprayer will have petrol engine and the two-stroke engine. And this is the tractor operated boom sprayer, where it is used for spraying either pesticides, insecticides, or if you want to kill the weeds, then you can also use it for weeding, by killing weeds by spraying herbicides as well. So this is another type of tractor mounted power sprayer, where this type of sprayer is used to spray the chemical into the orchard plants or to the trees. So it uses a huge blower which blows the strong stream of air, and that strong stream of air is passed through this duct, and meanwhile that chemical is also allowed to pass into this duct, where that jet of chemical will be disintegrated into small particles, and that small particles will carried away by this strong stream of air, and that air will carry those droplet and deposit them over the canopy of the plant. So this type of sprayer is for orchard plants, whereas this type of boom sprayer is for field crops. So there are different types of nozzles. Nozzles may be hydraulic, and most commonly used nozzles are hydraulic nozzles, and they are hollow cone nozzles, solid cone or full cone nozzles, and flat fan or flooding type nozzles. There are 4 types of hydraulic nozzles are there, which are commonly used in spraying of chemicals for plant protection in plant protection operation, either for spraying insecticides or weedicide, or for fungicides and herbicides. So this is how that nozzles are named after their pattern, which leave over the surface as the chemical is sprayed. Whenever if we use a solid cone full scope, whenever we use a flooding nozzle, this is how that chemical will come out of this nozzle, just like obtaining water from a tap. So like that, the chemical will form will come like a jet. So this type of nozzles are not used for spraying chemical. Instead, this type of nozzles are quite common while spraying slurry kind of substances. So in case of a flat fan nozzles, so that they are all called as hydraulic nozzle, because that disintegration of chemicals into droplet takes place by passing the water under pressure through restricted space. So there is a very small opening through which the flow chemical is allowed to pass through under pressure, and that's how that jet of water is being converted into a fine particles. And as they come out of the nozzles, they form a cone. As you can see, they are forming a cone. So when they fall over the ground, if they leaving the flat like flat like footprint, wet surface area, in such kind of nozzles are called as flat fan nozzles or flat spray nozzles. Whenever any nozzles leave the their spray footprint in the form of conical hollow at the center, then it is called as the hollow cone spray. So they have a conical shape. As they fall over the ground, they are forming all over the center. So the droplets are concentrating as they proceed towards the corner or periphery, but there is a all over the center. So any spraying nozzles forming such kind of spray pattern, they are called as the hollow cone nozzle. So any nozzle, they are forming the cone, and as they are falling over the surface, they are forming a circular wetting pattern, where the number of droplets are more at the center, and as we proceed towards this side, the density of droplets are decreasing. So such kind of nozzles are called as full cone nozzle. So that's how, on the basis of the wet pattern they produce as they used, on that basis the cone nozzles may be fat fan nozzle, hollow cone nozzle, and full cone nozzle or solid cone nozzle. So solid cone nozzle and flat fan nozzles are quite popular and recommended for spraying of weedicide or herbicides, whereas hollow cone nozzle is suitable for spraying insecticides or pesticides, because hollow cone nozzle produce droplets which are more uniform throughout the wet pattern they are producing, whereas in full cone nozzle and flat fan nozzles, the droplets are more dense at the center, and their their density decreases as we proceed towards their periphery. The another equipment which is used for plant protection operations is the duster. So what we discussed so far is this equipment where it is used to spray the apply the chemical in the form of spray. So if you want to apply the chemical in the form of liquid spray, then you need to use the sprayer. Otherwise, if you want to apply the chemical in the form of dry powder, then the duster is the equipment for that. So duster is a machine which it is used to apply chemical in the form of dust. So it uses a stream of air to carry the particles of chemical and deposit them over the plant. Any duster, it will have hopper, agitator, feed control unit, fan or blower to create a stream of air, and delivery nozzle as their essential components. So these are all the essential components of any dusters. So dusters may be two types, plunger type or it may be rotary type. So in case of rotary type, it may be knapsack type or it may be power operated type. So in case of power operated type, here it comes with the engine as an power source. So this is the type of duster which we called as a plunger type. So it comes with the barrel, where inside the barrel the chemical in the form of powder will be placed, and there will be a plunger. With the help of this plunger, as we drag out and push inside, so it will suck the air from the outside and push those air over the surface of chemical inside the plunger. So that stream of air carry some particles of the chemical and discharge them through this delivery sprout. So as soon as the air along with the chemicals comes out, that will form the dust, and that when always this plunger type duster will be operated by facing it against the plant over which the chemical supposed to deposit. So this is rotary type of duster where it will be hanged on the belly of the operator, and it will with the help of this handle, it will, the air required to carry the chemicals will be generated, and as we rotate this, the rotor will suck the air, and it will that air will be passed across the surface of the chemical powder kept inside the tank, and that air will pick up the particles of chemical and discharge them through this delivery spout. So from this delivery spout, with the help of this delivery pipe, so the chemical in the form of fine particles, solid particles, they comes out, and then it will be directed towards the plant where over which the chemical particles needs to be deposited. So the rotary type will be shoulder mounted type also. In such cases, it will look like this. It will be anchored into the operator's shoulder, and in this tank chemical powder will be stored, and here there is a rotor. If you operate this rotor, it will suck the air, and this air will carry the particles of this chemical and discharge them through this delivery spout. So as soon as that air comes out of this delivery spout, it also carries the chemical droplet, and those chemical droplet, solids chemical particle will be deposited over the plant. In case of power duster, it comes with the engine. That engine will operate the blower. So blower will create a strong stream of air, and strong stream of air will carry the particles of dust, and dust particles will be directed to deposit over the plant canopy, and that's how the dusters will be used to apply the chemical in the form of dry state, whereas sprayer is used to apply the chemical in the form of wet state. So sprayer apply the chemical in liquid droplet form, whereas duster apply the chemical in the form of solid particles, finely disintegrated solid particles. So that's how sprayers and dusters are used to protect the plant against insects, pests, weeds, and other threats by spraying the chemicals, and chemical in the form of spray and chemical in the form of dry powder. So these are all the reference that you can use for further readings. Thank you all.